to do that. If you have issues with that, you might want to let me know. Hi. My name is Ellen Zagri. I am the coordinator for the speakers for the pandemic period of the Sacramento Valley CNPS, and we've been doing it all on Zoom. Tonight's speakers we have for you, I'm very excited to say, the Del Paso Heights Growers Alliance, which I didn't know about till Chris told me about it, Chris Lewis. And I know you guys have been working with Chris Lewis, and so that's really exciting to see partner organizations, particularly like yours, where you're working for social, environmental, and economic justice programs, where we're helping them take plants and people and use the combination of those two things to inspire people to communicate and work together and improve their own lives and the lives of their community. And our speakers tonight are, I hope I said it right, Fatima? Is that how you say it? Okay, Fatima T. Malik-Wilson. She's the founder and the lead organizer. She was a member of the 2021 inaugural leadership cohort, Partners Advancing Climate Equity, which is a capacity building program for frontline community leaders from across California to connect and learn with their peers. And this is an important part of I think, the social change that is trying to manifest itself. And I hope I say this right, Yemanya, is that right? Is Napue is the co-director. She is an artist of African-American and Native and European descent. She's been performing, teaching, creating art in San Francisco since 1975. She's raised in Sacramento, but believes in giving back to her community. And she does this by teaching young and old alike how to take control of their own lives, make their own living, and help others. And also just get to be better people. And Max Rosa is also co-director. Hi, Max. And he was my contact on this. And he developed sustainability focused service learning projects for schools, nonprofit organizations, as well as community empowerment initiatives. He grew up in the Del Paso Heights area, attended UC Santa Cruz, and he's experiencing grant making, and collaborative fundraising. In summary, what they're going to talk to us tonight is about their effort to bring people together around plants and food. And they're going to describe the origin and history of their alliance, the Del Paso Heights Growers Alliance. It's a grassroots organization, but they want to focus on developing social and environmental justice. And it's going to be composed of a lot of different things. Apparently, it's a video. And they're going to discuss how they're collaborating, I hope, with the California Native Plant Society and how we can work with them to unite people on understanding why California native plants are so important to sustainability of society and nature in general. Okay, and he's also going to tell us about their operations and upcoming opportunities for volunteering if you're interested in getting involved. So why don't you guys go ahead. Max, do you have share screen up working?
Yeah, we have a screen share that we've been doing.
Okay, and so you go ahead and share your screen. This is a webinar, so they can't speak, but I have the chat open and I'll monitor the questions.
All right, well, good evening, everyone. We are so excited to be here. We wanted to start with first just thanking everybody at the California Native Plant Society. We are just so grateful and honored to be here and appreciative of the collaboration opportunities that have really led to just such a beautiful partnership. And we look forward to growing that this year. So we're gonna start with just sharing a video, I think, that really captures the essence of not only the work we've been doing for the past decade, but really also kind of highlight some of the work that we were able to achieve last year in partnership with the California Native Plant Society. So just give me one moment and I'm going to share my screen.
And the sacrifice and the
All right, let me know if you can. My name is Fatima Malik.
Maximilian Rosa.
My name is Yemanya Napue.
I am the founder and lead co-organizer of the Del Paso Heights Growers Alliance. We are a grassroots-based organization committed to advancing equity, environmental, social, and economic justice in disadvantaged communities such as Del Paso Heights.
I like to think of myself as a sustainability specialist. I have spent my career developing sustainability-focused service learning projects. I grew up here also. You know, I'm from Sacramento, so I'm a neighborhood fella.
I am
Sorry.
for over 4 decades now. I teach food identification, seed, stem, leaf, soil preparation, irrigation. It's been very imperative for me to go into the low-income communities, housing projects, teaching them how to prepare fresh fruits and vegetables, what the nutritional value is, how to use small container gardens in order for their families to survive.
Primarily, we are focused on addressing the economic and social conditions by ensuring that we have green spaces, urban greening opportunities for our children to learn and connect with nature and one another. We do that through producing food, growing trees at now 5 community garden sites, and we hope to continue to expand that.
It's more than just a network, like it's also places that exist for people to have experiences that can build their character and provide them outlet, inspiration, community support, you know, exposure to their neighbors, you know, access to resources, you know, a place to have food and eat and share, you know, just life with each other.
There are all these empty plots, and we can go in, and as long as there are any forms of water or any ways that we can run an irrigation system, we'll be able to feed our whole community just from really and truthfully 1 acre. But we have multiple acres here that are not being used, that are being used for trash and homelessness. If we incorporate the homeless into the education of farming and agriculture, they'll be able to help us, and it will build self-esteem for them.
Our community members are marginalized. They are struggling with a lot of challenges. However, in the midst of all of those challenges, we have a beautiful community that's full of a lot of pride, a lot of hard work, and a lot of support for one another.
The first word I would use is home, but the way a lot of people would see it is it's a poor community, right? Full of people carrying around a bunch of untreated trauma and dealing with, you know, the everyday struggles of life. That was my experience too, you know, growing up without my parents around, like being raised by a single grandparent. Me and my older brothers were all split up after my dad died. So like, you know, there's all sorts of like issues that everybody's dealing with.
The Del Paso Heights community to me is a multicultural community. There are people from the islands here. There are people from Asia here, people that came from Mississippi that are coming from ex-enslaved people. Generationally, they've been here since before the 40s, sometimes the 20s. They brought their whole families, the grandmothers and great-grandmothers and great-grandfathers. And at one point, this was all agriculture. There were no big factories or anything here. They brought from the South or from whatever country that they came from.
Always squeeze it. See it? Back to the root.
They augmented my whole education.
And get some water to it immediately.
By being able to work alongside them.
Give it a name, pray for it.
starts with joy, because there's so much of, being people together that it's important to value each other first. Then we can bring things to the table like food. But when you can create the experiences of taking like some dirty potato and turning it into something you love, or taking, like fresh fruit off of a tree and being able to bite into it and have the juice run down your face, that's a powerful experience.
It's so important to bring joy to our community that has been devastated by quote unquote drugs, devastated by homelessness, alcoholism, the whole concept of being thrown away because we don't get the funds.
A lot of great things in store next year. I think the first thing I'm excited about is our first annual fundraiser in May, our up and coming nursery, and also the opportunity to grow food and make new friends.
Root cellars, where the root of the people are.
The root is the part of the plant that's connected to the earth. That's its mechanism for uptaking nutrients, making the resources available for the whole plant to grow. Root vegetables are one of the few things that you can grow all year long. So with that comes like preservation and seasonality.
Root cellar, that's where our root vegetables are. That's where we started them at. Shallots, garlic, turnip greens, carrots, beets, and also different types of potatoes.
Sugarcane has interesting history behind its name as well. Aside from sugar being a global commodity and a thing that changed the world and people's dietary patterns and has been like oversold to people, there's like a specific history of slavery and people having been exploited to grow a crop, brutalized and murdered and tortured to achieve an economic goal. They were the thing that the value was extracted from. And I think it's really important to honor the history and the sacrifice and the knowledge that those people literally gave their life to make sure that we have.
It is my dream one day to make and sell fresh sugarcane juice in our community.
Chew it. If you, if not. It's sweet? Okay, so yeah, you kind of suck all the juices out, and then and then you just kind of like toss it out. So he finally tried his first sugar cane.
I want us to be the go-to place to help people get to where they want to be. So that means to really be the connector, to be the provider, the supporter. Actually, we're sitting in our new office right now. So just to continue to be able to have access to resources in the pursuit of helping everybody reach their full potential.
There's a lot of spaces in this community to have bad experiences or life-changing, life-altering, traumatizing experiences. And the more we can share the precious knowledge of where our food comes from and how delicious it is to eat it when you've harvested it and grown it, like that is the real truth and the thing that we need to be passing on in our community especially. Because we've already been left out and neglected time and time again. So the only ones here who's gonna look out for us is us. Like I say, we all got. So, what I wanna give to us is good food. It's something delicious to eat, something that warms your soul as well as warms your belly.
We have this opportunity to give back to the elders that gave to us what it is that we have, what we hold in our hands and our hearts, for us to expose the little people so that they can be the next legacy to pass on this alliance to their children and grandchildren. Like I was a little teeny 4-year-old in the garden, and now here I am, quote unquote, no shame, 65 going on 66, and I get to give back because it was given to me with love. How will the water be distributed? Water is beyond important for what it is that we do. When it normally would have been maybe 75 to 90, it's going 115 in the shade. Rainwater, oh, we pray for rain. praying through all of these obstacles, we'll be standing steadfast to do what it is that we were brought here to do.
Thank you so much.
Cut.
Okay, did you all hear that, or did you miss some of it?
I can't hear anything.
Hold on, I can't hear.
There, I unmuted me.
Okay.
Sorry, we're all unmuted. Oh, the only person that's not unmuted is Max.
Okay, you did get to see the whole video. Okay,
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess Max said he could see me, and so I wanted to make sure you all saw it. Cool. Well, thank you so much. I think now we're going to just go into our presentation, and actually I'm going to hand it over to Max, but do you want me to share this?
Yeah, if you could just play the slides.
Okay. All right. So bear with me here as I work out my technology. Okay, let's see here. Oh, that's the wrong button. Okay. This one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There we go. Okay. How's that? Does that work?
Yeah. So thanks for joining us, everybody. So you heard a little bit about the Del Paso Heights Growers Alliance, some of the work we do, some of the descriptions of our neighborhood and community, and some of the issues that we're going through. So one of the things we wanted to share with you is some of our mission, our values, and some of the motivation for why we do this work. We'll probably go around in a second and talk a little bit more about these specifically. I don't want to necessarily like read to you the slide just because it's there for you to be able to read, but to talk more about what it says from a personal perspective. So for us, the Del Paso Heights Growers Alliance is highly motivated by the needs of our community and also responding to our community and community needs. So like one of the things about this community and this neighborhood is that it's an existing food desert. So in response to the conditions here, we've focused on establishing community gardens to not only grow food, but native plants as a way to increase green spaces, as a way to create opportunities for people to engage with their neighbors, to have safe spaces, to interact with each other with, and really creating value in the community that can be reinvested back into the community rather than a value model that is extracting value from the community. We're really trying to bring something to the community or to share something with the community that's already in the community. I do want, well, okay. So some of our values, yeah, there we go. All right. So the DPHGA guiding principles and our theory of change is rooted and based on us like being together, supporting each other, and supporting each other's well-being and the livelihood and social and economic opportunities in this neighborhood. We're trying to like help establish not only better conditions, but also more, it's hard, sorry, I'm getting a little tongue-tied, but also not only opportunities, but spaces for people to be, where they can interact, where they can learn things, where they can develop skills, where they can eat, have a good time, where we can really get to know each other and have this like positive network that's able to share out and help each other thrive. One of the things that we're trying to do is to also improve the social determinations of health, because this community is considered one of the most highly disadvantaged communities in the Sacramento area. It's at some of the greatest risk for health issues. Do you mind sharing a little bit about that? I feel like you're a little bit better to.
Yeah, I mean, I think any indicator in the book that you look at for this neighborhood is going to be we have the worst health outcomes and disparities. I mean, across the board, from economic, educational, environmental, higher exposure to air pollution, unhealthy food, just a lack of opportunities and resources historically for a long legacy of disinvestment and disadvantage.
Yeah, we can move on. I think that little box is manifesting as a gray box for everybody else. Are we able to hide that little toolbox?
Yeah, I don't know how to hide that. So let me see if I can. Yeah, I'm not sure.
So another thing we wanted to do today was we wanted to talk about some of our community spaces. So the first one is one that we collaborated with the Native Plant Society on, and it's the Del Paso Heights Friendship Garden and Butterfly Habitat. It was established in November of 2021, and we held a couple of volunteer days where we installed plants, we upgraded the irrigation, we mulched the area, we created a path through it, and then we had a return event in February of 2022, where we further formalized the path there, spread a bit more mulch, evaluated the success of some of the plants. And it was actually a really cool meeting where, aside from just being focused on the plants and the space, we also had some other community partners out there, like the Paul Mitchell School of, is it not cosmetology? Cosmetology. So they were giving out free haircuts to community members. We had another organization out there supporting us who focuses on volunteerism. It was a really wonderful day. Can you skip to the next slide? We installed our big butterfly sign. These are some pictures from our November planting day. You might recognize Chris in this photo from the Native Plant Society. That's Fatima, the founder of the Growers Alliance there. I think we installed something like 80 native plants that day. There was a variety of elderberries.
At least 200.
Was it 200?
So sorry, just take a step back. So really quickly, so this butterfly garden was in response to a collaboration with the California Native Plant Society and Chris and the Home Growers for Social Justice program that you all helped to grow a lot of these plants. And so we were the recipient of, I think, 185 plants from that program, plus the Xerces Society donated another 85 plants or so. And so this site now has, we planted over 200 plants at this site. And it was just a really great opportunity to collaborate and partner with not only the Native Plant Society, but also the Xerces Society, and to really leverage all of those partnerships and have a greater impact. Ye, do you want to say anything about that?
Yes, one of the most important things that I felt was teaching the community about native plants, and the native plants to be there for us to cultivate our bees and our butterflies and, you know, the natural insects that come with the native plants for California. Most people don't realize that some of the plants that they see when they walk down the street or walk past a field are native plants and not just weeds. And so we were also talking to them about, you know, the impact of not having native plants on not only the soil itself, but also the community and for agriculture. So that was one of the most important things that I felt with working with the children, working with the college students, and our other volunteers that came out.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I wanted to mention about this site is we've got a few other things going on there. We also have the True Beginnings Orchard and Grove at this site. It's a citrus orchard with a few other fruit trees. So one of the reasons why we chose to put the plants here rather than some of our other community gardens is because we really wanted to create a thriving biological community there and bring some more diversity to the plant community. This site itself is on the corner of two busy thoroughfares where there's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of there's a bike trail next to it. So there's an odd mixture of the way people engage with the space. So the space that we ended up putting the butterfly garden was previously just a vacant lot that was underutilized there. So we really wanted to focus on this particular part of the site as a way to engage with the community right next to a bus stop in a front-facing way to create an opportunity for people to engage with it without having to necessarily come to an event, where they can just walk by and see flowers or see some native grasses or be able to smell the sage. Also at this site, we're hoping to, sorry, you want to go ahead.
Oh, the other thing that was really imperative is the fact that that is a site for a mother-baby food program and food, CalFresh program right there on site. It's a WIC program right there, primetime teens, however they say it, and the concept of we have so many people with special needs that are in the community that we felt it was really important for us to make it accessible for wheelchairs. And so that was one of the things that we wanted to bring forth besides having the garden set up with the native plants, because a lot of times people with wheelchairs can't go into a park area. It's hard for them to be able to move comfortably. And so we wanted to include our special needs individuals in that.
So as you can probably tell, we're super excited about the butterfly garden, but I think in the interest of time, we're gonna go to the next set of things that we wanna share with you all. So I think this one is one of the other sites that we wanted to share with you. So this is the Root Cellar Community Garden. It was established in 2013 through a combination of land and water sponsorships, both the landowner and the Progressive Elks Lodge next door. What I want to highlight is without water, you don't have a garden. And so I want to acknowledge Paul Trudeau here in this really kind of area back here in between the two lots, installing irrigation. And so it's a vacant lot. And so, without water, you don't have a garden. And so our neighbors have been so gracious to sponsor the water to this site. And I think that what we want to share with you all today is both the history of this site and then now the future that we're really excited about, hoping to continue the partnership with the Native Plant Society as it relates to some of the plans we have in store. So with that, Max, what do we have in store for the Root Cellar Community Garden?
So we're planning to establish a plant nursery at the Root Cellar Community Garden. This is going to be a way for us to create value as well as distribute plants to the community. We're intending to grow up to 1,000 native plants, trees, fruits, and vegetables. It'll be a complete propagation and cloning station so that we can also use this space to teach people not only where their food comes from, because we'll be using the plants that we sprout here, but also to provide technical skills like how to, clone a plant or how to make a cutting and how to stage them up from, a little root zone, how to control humidity, temperature, and all the necessary controls for establishing healthy plants.
Yeah, and can I just put in a plug to Chris, who was so gracious and gave us a tour of the elderberry farms in Rancho Cordova at the Soilborn Farms location. And we were really inspired by what you all are doing. And we're really hoping to continue that partnership, not only to continue to bring some of these resources into our community that could certainly benefit from this, but we are just continuously learning from Chris. And again, I want to thank her for sharing her pond that she has. I just can't stop talking about how impactful some of those exposures and experiences have been for me. And I think that that's really for us, why this is so important is you don't know what you don't know. And so in our community, there are very few exposures and experiences in this whole, let's say, regeneration aspect of how do we rehabilitate the soil and the environment through the plants, right? The native plants and even the fruits and vegetables, because we know how important that is for our community. And so we're really excited about that. I think there's a couple of other slides, so I'm gonna zip right through them. This one here is just to kind of tell you about our other site. The Sugarcane Community Garden was established in 2017, again, through a combination of water and land sponsorships. And this is a partnership with Sac Youth Center. We organize and host a lot of volunteer days. And then we just now adopted the, we adopted 3 plots at the International Garden of Many Colors. But this garden, I call it the crown jewel in Sacramento. If you haven't been there, we encourage you to definitely join us for a future event. This garden has been there for 30 years. It is home to a lot of immigrant communities who are master gardeners in their own right? And so it's just an amazing place. Matter of fact, Yemanya, do you want to share how you felt when you were in that garden recently?
Well, when I was there, it was so wonderful to see not only children, but our elders. It was an intergenerational whole vibration, and you could tell by what type of plots that they were, or how they were taken care of, to the skill set of the people that lived there on site. They lived in the housing complex that's there, and they're literally taking not only their grandmothers and grandfathers are taking their children's children out with them, and they were coming out as families. It was just really beautiful.
Awesome, thank you.
Can I share a little bit more about that?
Yeah.
Because the history of this garden is so special. It's one of the reasons why I really like this space as well. It's hard to see in that photo on the right with some of the volunteers, but you can see some of the power lines strung above it. It's a power line pathway right next to 2 apartment buildings. And there were quite a few refugees being housed in that location in the late 80s and early 90s. And they saw that this space was being underutilized and it was just a vacant lot. And a lot of them started going out there, clearing the weeds, bringing buckets of water, and started practicing the subsistence agriculture that they grew up and practiced in their home countries. After operating in this space for 20 plus years, the city finally realized that they were on their land and tried to shut the garden down. But because these people lived there, they just kept going back and kept growing their plants. So the city then established another formalized community garden with a lot more structure, regulated plot size, regulated growing conditions, like you can't plant trees, you can't grow berries, you can't grow certain things, this and that. And as a way to displace this group of former refugee farmers into another space where they could control what they did. After the city tried to do that, the gardeners were still not interested in that and kept growing in this international garden of many colors. And after a 5-year battle of trying to get the city to recognize this space as an actual garden, they finally agreed to let these people grow there and gave them a formal establishment. And now it's a functioning community garden. So we're really excited about being a part of this space and working with the group of people who have been growing there for years.
Mm-hmm. There's 57 plots on that garden, and there's water spigots at every area. It's just nice because now you can see what formal education that by looking at the gardens, what formal education actually was by each person who put their plot, put their plots together.
All right, so with that, we're just going to close out here by inviting you all actually at this point to some of our upcoming events and opportunities. So matter of fact, we'll be at the International Garden of Many Colors this Saturday from 9 to 1 if you all are curious and want to join us. And actually we are there on the third Saturday of every month. So if not this month, we look forward to seeing you maybe in May. And we also have a 6-week summer program that's going to start with AmeriCorps. It's going to begin in May and it'll run consecutively every week. And we're hoping that group can help us with building the plant nursery at Root Cellar Community Garden, among our other sites. We have weekly garden days at Root Cellar now, Mondays from 5 to 7, and there'll be many other opportunities to come. And then I think there's a few other things, but I think in the interest of time, we just kind of wanted to share that our successes and track record really is, there's a lot of things that it's about the experience, right? It's the community building, it's the networking, but we provide thousands of hours of opportunities, community service, community building. We give away tons of plants and resources to the community, in the community, with the community, for the community on an annual basis. And so I think what we're hoping to do with the Native Plant Society is invite you to continue to grow with us as we rehabilitate and regenerate a lot of this degraded land in the North Sacramento area, which at one point was prime ag land. Mm-hmm. And with that, I guess, Max, what are some ways people can get involved?
Well, there's lots of ways. You can volunteer with us. You can spend your time with us. You can share your knowledge with us. You can participate in our programs. And the other way that I'm really excited about is you can donate to us. I will actually drop the link in the chat if you are interested in supporting us.
Awesome. And you can follow us on Eventbrite for our future events. You can email us or follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And I think now we're going to just turn it to all of you to ask any questions. Oh, sorry, I can't hear you. Hold on 1 second. Uh-oh, hold on. No, hold on. Nope. I don't know if your speaker's working. Hold on, let me, 1 second.
There, am I muted?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay,
go ahead.
Sorry, that was me. I was muted.
Oh.
I'm sorry, that's me. Where was I? Oh, thank you so much for speaking. What a great webinar. What are the addresses for your gardens if people wanted to go visit them, if they live in the area or they're in the area? I like you that you're in some areas regularly, so if every third week people can go if they are able to, but it might be nice to get us to use the CNPS community to send out when you're having events, which I think you're already doing because I think I get some of them, but maybe let the people up in the community know. Ellen Pimentel is here and she's our president. And Ellen, I'm going to ask in a minute if you have any announcements, but she said that was great. We're looking forward to continuing to work with you. Oh, and Jessica wants to know, do you take donations of plant starts?
Yes, we will take any donations that you have to offer in plant form or other form. As for the addresses, what we can do is we could probably, after today, we can send out maybe like a one-pager or even our slides, and then be specific with the location and then the addresses of each of our garden sites, which you are welcome to visit. We're happy to meet with you all as well and give tours. That's actually one of my favorite things to do. And then in terms of if you do want to just stay in the know, we post most of our events on Eventbrite. So if you follow us, then that's one way to kind of find out too.
Eventbrite.
In terms of other gardens, like in Oak Park, we've been really focused in the North area right now. We used to collaborate with Green Tech, and they have a site in Oak Park. And we've done a number of plantings in parks. But again, most of it has been in North Sacramento, a little bit in South Sac, not too much outside of Oak Park. And then I did see a few other questions. If
they just start popping up like little popcorns. What do you need more of in your gardens?
Yeah, so we have a wish list. We will certainly send it to you. If I had to just like pick a few things right now, I would say that like top of mind for me is like an outdoor sink, like one of those that where you can kind of like plug in and kind of just have like a washing station. But yeah, we were really, so the pandemic, which we didn't, again, we didn't talk a lot about that, but it set us back significantly. And so Bermuda grass is just treacherous. And so we've been, again, just like battle against Bermuda grass. So I guess we do need cardboard. So again, like we're looking for cardboard for sheet mulching. And just volunteer time, I think really to help us even in the planning,
rototills.
Like even in the planning process and or even as we get ready to build, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities to get more into like the resources of, tables or the plastic that goes around the greenhouse and just like those specific items.
Right.
I know like we just got like a pop-up tent. We got 2 pop-up tents. So again, it's like the little things, right? Like it's just like baby steps. And I have to say, like we operate like on a shoestring budget. It's all volunteer. It's a labor of love. We just got fiscally sponsored this year. And so we've been doing this for a long time. And I think now what we're really excited about is collaborating in partnerships with you all so that we can continue to have greater impact. And so for that, we are very grateful, very appreciative, and look forward to continuing this partnership.
So let's see. You're a great organization. What a difference you're making. That's great. Send wish list is from Jessica. I am thrilled with your project. I work for the North Sac and later Twin Rivers School District. I did numerous home visits. So it makes, I can see that was my thought was the schools and the teachers. You can get them out there somehow, or that seems like a really brilliant connection.
Thank you for that. I appreciate who put that in the chat because I'm alumni of Grant High School. And I think that really was formative in developing my interest in this work because I was a student in this Grant High School school garden program. And then I went to UC Davis and I studied agriculture. And one thing I realized quickly was that in Del Paso Heights, in North Sacramento, right, when you've lived here long enough, you realize like, okay, I don't want to be a product of my environment, which is very unhealthy. I have to produce the environment I want to be in. And that's why for us now, it is imperative that we produce healthy environments, right? Because we are against all odds, right? Trying to be healthy, again, starting from the economics, then the environmental, then the social, right? And so again, for us, it has become so important that we rebuild and rehabilitate, starting with the land, then the people, and then the plants so that we can support each other.
I also have been a community outreach worker for the Network for Healthy California in the Del Paso Heights area, and from South Sacramento all the way to Del Paso Heights. And the one thing that I was talking about at one point was that just in Del Paso Heights alone, there's like 160 churches. So I went into churches to recruit for land for us to be able to do community gardens right on the church sites, not to go into a religious thing or anything like that, but to bring health and wellness into the churches, and which in turn will bring health and wellness into the family setting. And I also worked with the Twin Rivers community schools, et cetera, and after school programming by doing community gardens with the youth that were in the programming here in Del Paso Heights.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, with that, I know you probably have other things. Oh, Max, final comments? Sorry.
Well, there's yes, and another question. So I also got I cut my teeth after college working in Twin River schools. That's when I started my first community garden at Norwood Junior High School. And it was one of those things where there was so much opportunity that it was almost, what's the word I'm looking for? Low-hanging fruit and too good of an opportunity to pass up on. And yes, we do have edibles and native plants at our butterfly or the Del Paso Heights Friendship Garden and Butterfly Habitat. We're hoping to create an elderberry forest in the fall. That will be one of our next planting projects at a spot in the same site that is underutilized and currently just what's the word I'm looking for? Maladaptive. It's just in disuse and disrepair. So we want to further engage in this space and to have the elderberry forest be something that's specifically focused on growing plants that are native and edible, and even something like oak trees where people nowadays don't eat acorns, but it was a fundamental part of the diet of the indigenous people who lived in this region. So if we can create resources like that, and then also use that space as a way to, bring back some of those traditions or highlight some of them and make them accessible to people, that's one of our things that we're really focused and interested on.
Teaching the history and culture of agriculture, period, is very important. The children, I feel that if we start with the children, we're teaching them about the history and culture of, and teaching nutrition education, plant, seed, leaf, and stem identification, then that way, if their parents aren't educated, they'll be able to at least talk them through. Or tell them, do you see that plant right there? That's chamomile. It grows right in the street. We don't even have to water it. Those kind of things. And then talking to them about how those plants are medicine and how they heal you from the inside out.
Yeah, thank you. And I guess I'll just end on the last question here, which is what do we see as the biggest challenges? I think for us right now, what's happening, as you can imagine, is we're all getting priced out, right? Of the cost of land is just insane. And I think that for us now, what we've realized is that, we're certainly looking to establish our strategic plan and to focus on developing a permanent real estate cooperative so that we could then purchase one of these vacant churches. As Yemanya mentioned, there's a church on Norwood for sale. And I called and the guy was like, yeah, $5 million. We were like, $5 million
in Del Paso.
In Del Paso, right? This is not Hollywood. So next to a freeway, right? It was ridiculous. And then he's like, oh, but we'll take $3 million. And he was like, wait, are we negotiating like in the millions? Again, it's just insane right now, I guess, is what we're realizing. And so I think for us, we certainly see that a capital campaign is going to be critical so that we could then purchase a future building, preferably a church building, because then you have a facility plus land. Right. And then I think ultimately we realize that is how we are hoping to build not only those economic social enterprises we need to fund essentially this work, right? But I think that in terms of the challenges right now, I think it is certainly just the land and the hyper kind of, inflation of the value, which is so artificial and insane that for this neighborhood, I don't understand it.
I understand. Yeah.
Or for Sacramento, period. Yeah, I think there's just a lot going on. So I think that is the biggest challenge right now. It's probably going to be the land and and finding our future home, right? Like finding a home. Because even like the land we're on right now, again, it's leased. But, you know, maybe we'll adopt the International Garden and that becomes our future home. But again, for our nursery, you know, where is our future nursery home going to live? And I think that that's what we're hoping to figure out between now and the next 5 years. So if you all want to help us figure it out, we would love your support. So time, talent, all of that. Yeah.
Is there a junior college in that area?
American River College.
Yeah. American River College.
That's not very close.
No, it's not close enough.
So we have a college desert also.
Fun fact.
An educational desert.
Fun fact, the college used to be across the street from Grant High School.
Yes.
And then they moved it. So again, a lot of the resources and opportunities get moved out of the neighborhood. We have to figure out how do we keep these opportunities.
How to turn that around. Yeah, bring it back in.
Yeah. But I mean, we'll partner with them and we'd love to continue to find ways to get students involved. We've been partnering with high school students, college students. So yeah, but I think certainly it would be nice to have some satellite college campus or resources here.
Yeah, just then you get all that new blood constantly every year. The young people come in, more students, you know, and they want to learn. They're all enthusiastic. You have a constant source of.
Yep, that's why they call it an anchor institution, right? Like UC Davis, and how Oak Park now is, you know, so different. But for better or for worse, right? Good, bad, or indifferent. But you have all that investment going on.
That wasn't there preview.
Yeah, that's one of the challenges as well as opportunities that I see is that there's so many vacant lots here that could be activated. It's a huge focus for us to also be able to create the capacity to do something with it. But even as we create capacity, we train people and build skills. Another thing about this neighborhood is it's right next to the McClellan Air Force Base. So a lot of these areas and vacant lots here are actually toxic sites. So there's a need for like soil testing and true soil analysis and finding the right mixture of not only native biology, whether it be fungus, bacteria that can absorb some of those toxins and help us regenerate the soil to where it's actually safe to grow in. Because there's a lot of like, heavy particulate matter,
heavy metals, the lead
and arsenic that has just
from the Air Force Base
rained down from the Air Force Base that was here for 60 years and is deeply deposited into the soil. So also building out the capacity to treat that and identify it and move forward is the challenge and the opportunity.
Remediate.
So yeah, and I think Chris asked what was our fundraising goal. I think for this year it's $100,000, and then eventually we will begin our capital campaign. But I think that will take time. For now, to really sustain the work we're doing, we have about 5 sites, and I think that the work we're doing really requires more, but I think starting with that could really help us not only start the plant nursery, get it operational, and to even have some of that, some of the resources to get it up and running. But we are hopeful, we're optimistic. And again, thank you all so much.
When you're in the right place at the right time, it's something that's really needed, so that's good. You're doing good work, and everybody, I think, it seems like all the people that are with us tonight agree with that, and they think that's really true. Let's see. Did you guys see all these? Lead was recently found in the Sac State water and at the Grant High School pipes. So
yeah,
it's federal money for that, but boy, trying to get money out of the feds is something else.
Yeah. The whole city.
You need a partner like at the Environmental Protection Agency or somebody. So anyway, we'll try to help you and get more people conscious of your project. And if I know anybody, which I know some people, from campus, and I'll say, you should really help these people. And sometimes they get students, and students are all like, I want to do that research. And we'll see if we can send you some of those people, send them your way.
Awesome. Thank you so
wonderful.
much. Yeah, we would welcome
Yeah,
any and
okay.
everyone.
Ellen Pimental, the other Ellen, I am the first Ellen. Ellen, if you're out there and you can hear me, do you want to say anything?
I'm here. I don't have any announcements today. I want to thank everybody for coming and for Del Paso Heights Growers Association for that, or Alliance, sorry. That was a great presentation. And like I said in the chat, it's been great to work with you all. And we're looking forward to continuing to do you guys have so many great aspirations. And I think as much as the Native Plant Society can help support you, we will. And I want to encourage anybody, who's watched the presentation, who was, inspired, please reach out, please get involved. This is going to be, I hope, a really long-term partnership. And I think there's opportunity for us all to learn from each other. So
absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, that's what we're about, is long-term partnership. We think it's going to be necessary to really be intentional, right? Not just here and there, but to be intentional. And we're really just, I don't know how to say it. Like, can I say it? Like, we love y'all. Like,
oh,
we all need more of that.
So we want this to continue, so yeah.
Yeah, I think that it's a really good match. So thank you for the presentation.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, and yeah, thanks for me too, you guys, for all this. What I want to do next is just tell everybody, if you want to come back next month, we're going to be learning about the iNaturalist and CNPS partnership, that people go in after an area burns and they study the nature of what occurs and what comes back, what plants, what butterflies, and all that. And I have, I can't find his name, Jose Esparza. I think he has Aguirre at the end of that too, and some of the stuff he sent me. And he's going to present community science opportunities with CNPS. And that's what I was thinking about, you guys needing, like soil testing. There might be something there. And he's going to start us out with a quick training on how easy it is. And then he'll show a deeper dive into the project, where all over the state in these damaged areas after fires, people can go in and be citizen scientists and learn about how nature responds even after disaster. And they have a website. You can go to cnps.org/fire followers. And thank you guys again so much. That was really, truly inspiring. And we would like to help you. So, okay. Well, thanks. I don't see anything else. Yeah, soil testing help. Okay, and Ileana says, I will agree. Can't wait till the day end. Hopefully this will get you some volunteers.
Nice.
All right. Well, good night, you guys. Good night, everybody.
All right. Well, you can volunteer as soon as this Saturday or Monday.
Right.
Or the third Saturday of every month, or every Monday. So again, we're going to have many more opportunities, but those are just for starters.
And you guys are on Facebook, right?
Yes, it's on Facebook.
I think that's where I got my information, was the Facebook page.
Oh, awesome. Nice.
Well, the Instagram?
Facebook.
Or Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Ciao.
All right. Bye.
Take care.